My name is Tim Masemola. Today we are going to be talking to Makenosi Maroo from Reservoir. We know that on Sunday there was an announcement that was made that reservoirs are running low in Johannesburg, and she's the one who's going to be giving us all the details. How are you, Makenosi?
I'm good, Tim. Thank you very much for the invitation, and good afternoon to your listeners and your viewers.
Yes, we know that there's a water crisis in the city of Johannesburg, and you've also warned the people that they should use water sparingly. Can you give us all the details concerning that?
Right. Maybe let us not call it a crisis, because once we start saying a crisis, Tim, people start panicking. What is happening is we are noticing an increase in water consumption. Obviously, around this time of the year, it's our peak season. People are consuming a lot of water. So it is putting a strain in the system. So we are just really throwing a caution, and we're saying to consumers, please use water sparingly.
Yes, but there are those who will be saying, are there precautionary plans maybe to say, let us advise our community? And what are you saying to them?
Look, it's good to be cautious and to be concerned, because we don't want to get to a stage where our system is not coping because we are all consuming water. So I know that municipalities have introduced restrictions. I know they are on level 1. What it means is consumers or residents are not allowed to water their gardens between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. during the peak season. So that means from the 1st of September up until the 31st of March, you do not water your garden between those times. So you can do it before 6 a.m. or after 6 p.m.
Yes, we know that some of our community members, they will ignore these advices, and they will be doing the opposite. Who's going to be making sure that people follow the water restrictions?
Look, we are putting out the message that people must follow these restrictions. If people don't follow the restrictions and the consumption is still going high, we will move to the next level, where either we introduce, we go to level 2 or we go to level 3. But when I'm saying we, I'm talking about municipalities going to those levels. If all fails, that's when rainwater comes in from the bulk water supply. That means we'll be able to restrict from our side, and then municipalities will not be able to do anything about it, because we will decide if this reservoir is running dry, we'll be able to restrict for a certain time, and then there will be those restrictions, and people will not have water for a particular time until we come back to a point where reservoirs are normalized and we're able to supply water, because we don't want our system to crash.
Yes. Currently, reservoirs are low. Which areas maybe are affected most presently?
At the moment, we have 58 reservoirs, so that should tell you how many reservoirs we have and how big in terms of the supply. But the area that we are focusing on at the moment is Johannesburg. I know that the Grand Central, the Waterfall, south of Johannesburg is also impacted, and there are other parts of city of Tshwane that are impacted. So Gauteng generally is impacted, but now the focus is on in Johannesburg. So we're working closely with Johannesburg Water.
Yes, but we must be having those reservoirs that are showing improvement now. Do we have some reservoirs that are showing improvement?
Look, they will show improvement, because remember, in the evening, it's a lot quiet. People are not really using much water. But when we wake up in the morning and it's hot, people are going back to those habits of watering, using sprinklers, and then the reservoirs will drop. Also, there is evaporation. So what we normally say it's safe is when a reservoir is sitting between 60 and 80%. At the moment, we are below 60%.
Yeah. Are there any plans in place in terms of maybe alternative water supply for the people of Johannesburg?
I know that municipalities, if there are water restrictions or when there is maintenance, they always have water tankers that are roaming around. They will make that call, and they'll also make that announcement. At the moment, we are not at that point where we need to be giving or to be having water tankers. It's a stage where we're still saying please use water sparingly and adhere to water-saving practices like turning off your tap while brushing your teeth, repairing the leaking taps, and maybe using sprinklers only when it's necessary between sunset and sunrise.
Do you have maybe advices beyond these ones that you've just given to us, to the people of Johannesburg, before we let you go?
Yes, I do. For those who have swimming pools, I know people are filling up swimming pools. There isn't much that we can do, but we're saying, please cover the swimming pool because water does evaporate. So that means we don't have to refill every time. We're also saying, install low flow restrictions on taps at home, refrain from watering gardens during the day, but do so between sunset and sunrise. When you wash your car, use a bucket instead of using a hose. When you clean your pavement or paving, please use a bucket. So those are the tips that we are really saying to people, adopt them, adhere to them. Those are the water saving practices.
Before I let you go, I know this is not the first time you made such an announcement that reservoirs are running low and our people should start using water sparingly. Previously, how did you manage to overcome, because you said, let us not use the word crisis? Did our communities comply and everything went well?
Maybe let's just take it to say previously we did make this call. During spring and summer seasons, that is our peak season. So that means the water demand always outstrips the supply. So we'll always make that call up until people do heed that call. The previous time we did struggle, municipalities went from different levels, but it did not help. That's when rainwater had to come in and restrict water from rainwater side, from the bulk side. That's where we came in and we said, if people are not adhering, we will take control of the system up until we get to a point where we are comfortable with reservoir levels.
Just to caution people, you spoke about levels. Can you give us maybe these levels so that our people can understand if it happens, they misuse what they have right now, which level they might find themselves in?
As I indicated, if we are comfortable with let's talk about a particular reservoir. If water is between 60 and 80%, we are comfortable, we are safe, there is enough water for people for that particular area. As soon as we go below 60%, we become concerned. And remember, if we start going below 60%, day by day, we are consuming water. So the reservoirs will decrease in terms of the percentage. So we are consuming water and we are actually over consuming water. That's where we're saying, please use water sparingly. If it goes below 60%, 50%, 40%, then we start becoming concerned.
Are you always communicating these messages so that our people can use water responsibly? Or because our people will say, no, we only see these messages when there's when we are now, our reservoirs are becoming maybe below 50, 60. That's when you'll see rainwater writing these messages to say, please use water sparingly. Are you making sure that you communicate time and again with our communities in terms of saying to them, let us try to save water as much as possible? Because we know that South Africa is a water scarce country.
It's true, it's true. Yes, as we are always communicating. As I indicated, this is our peak season, spring and summer seasons. That's when the water demand always outstrips supply. So we always communicate. We have water conservation campaigns. You would hear on radio where we're really calling out and we're really advising people to use water sparingly. When we communicate, when we issue media statements, we always advise, please continue to use water sparingly. So it's not a question of it's just now. Every time around this time, we communicate. From the 1st of September up until the 31st of March, that's a peak season, we always communicate as Rainwater. And now we are partnering with municipalities. For example, we issued a statement with Joburg Water. We issued a statement with the city of Tshwane. So we are also collaborating with our municipal customers.
Makenosi Maroo, your last words for today?
Last word is, please continue to use water sparingly. Rainwater has the ability and capacity to supply water. Per day, we are able to supply 4,900 megaliters. We're talking about millions of per day. So we are actually exceeding what we normally supply. We are sitting at 5,000 megaliters per day. So we are able to supply water. But if we don't conserve water, if we don't use water appropriately, we will run dry. So we're saying, please continue to use water sparingly and adopt water-saving practices.
Thank you for your time. I know we'll continuously talk to you because we know that something might come up, but surely we'll continuously talk to you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And thank you very much for having Rainwater on the show.